Hey, hello everyone. My name is Cody. Welcome to episode 2 of competitive Overwatch on console. And today I am talking all about solo queue and what it is. But first, let me give you a little update for you guys. Justin and I are still playing together, but I have been having a tremendous amount of fun in solo queue. And so today I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to make your solo queue experience better, because not all of us have friends we can play with. Some of them have already done their placement matches and ended up higher than us, and others just don't have people on all the time that they can play together, and they want to progress through the ladder, so solo queue is their only option. And so I'm going to give you guys the tips that I've picked up from playing a tremendous amount of solo queue games, and hopefully they help in the end. Remember, guys, that this is for console. Some of these tips can extend to PC if you're a PC player, so I do hope those help you as well. But let's talk about like why I enjoy solo queue. Solo queue has helped me tremendously because it's been interesting to see how I deal with not having Justin or any other teammates to rely on. It's me. It's I am by myself, and I need to make sure that everything works that I am doing. I have to play 110%, and instead of playing like maybe 75% and hoping Justin can pick up that 25% slack, no, this is all on me, and I have to be able to do well. And it's a really fun game to play. Solo queue is an entirely different thing than duo queue or getting any other stacks of people with you. It's it's a great tool to learn that you're actually really good with certain characters. It's made me realize that I'm a good Ana and I'm a good Lucio because I have been able to, with Ana, I've been able to solo heal people because instead of getting a second healer, we get a Symmetra. Uh, and that's incredible because Ana is incredibly hard to play, but if she's played right, you can solo queue the entire team, and it's actually really fun to do. And then with Lucio, I always thought I was really bad at Lucio, but instead, I've actually found out I'm a pretty good Lucio. I have been able to contest a payload when the enemy team is pushing it, so they can't move it until my team gets back. I've been able to hit good sound barriers. I had a sound barrier the other day that actually saved us from a diva ult, and it was incredible. And so pretty much solo queue is fun because you really get to see what kind of a player you are, and it's been incredibly fun. And I'm so happy I decided to try it. But I am going to start picking up more games with Justin. I do enjoy when we get to play together, but solo queue, as I've said, is a crazy fun thing to do. So I definitely recommend everybody tries it. Uh, so my tips for going into competitive solo queue. These tips can also extend to quick play, especially this first one, and that is get a headset, a reliable one. If you're on PS4, I know the PS4 comes with a little earpiece headset, and while that does work pretty well, I do recommend, if you're gonna try and make this a long time thing, just fork out the money, get like a $40 headset, and it's amazing. I bought a HyperX headset, and you would not imagine how well it helps me. I can actually hear footsteps, so I know where enemies are if I am trapped somewhere. Let's say I'm stuck in a building, and I can hear footsteps to my right. I can actually identify most of those footsteps. Like if it's a big, heavy clinking, it's probably Reinhardt or Diva, and it's just been incredibly useful that I actually got this headset. I've been able to do that ever since. By the way, the gameplay in the background is on Route 66, and another point I'm going to bring up later will actually tie in why this gameplay is important. So yeah, definitely just get the money and get a nice headset. If you can't afford a really expensive one, there are the little $15 ones at like GameStop that are just the earpiece on one ear and a microphone. But having a mic is beneficial because it lets you call out where enemies are. It also lets you call out when you need help. Especially if you're playing a healer like I do, it's really beneficial to let your team know that the enemy team is on you. Like, hey guys, there's a Genji on me, or there's a Pharah on me, and I can't kill her by myself. I need help, and they can just send a soldier or somebody back and help me, and it's just really beneficial. So that's why I really recommend you get a headset or a microphone, just any microphone really, and it helps you and your team at the end of the day, and that's important. The next tip I would give anybody going into solo queue is you got to be flexible. Like I talked about in that last game about knowing when to switch. You got to know when it's okay to be flexible. Say your team needs a tank, but you've already locked in a DPS. But it's like, hey guys, we really need another tank. Just it's be flexible, bite the bullet, play a tank. Play a tank you're comfortable with though. Don't feel like, hey guys, we really need a Reinhardt here. Well, if you're not the best Reinhardt, I would rather you not play that Reinhardt because you're not playing to your full abilities. If you're better at Diva, go to a Diva. Uh, but that's a really big important tip is to be flexible. Know when it's time to switch off a character. As you'll see in the gameplay in the background, I was realized like, hey, Ana's not working here. We need like a defensive ultimate to keep our team alive. Let me go to Lucio. I can speed boost us to get kills. I can sound barrier to keep us alive when the graviton goes off from the enemy team, and it's just really beneficial. Another thing about being flexible is it helps because, okay, so in the gameplay in the background, we had a guy who decided he wanted to be a shot caller. What a shot caller is someone who, he pretty much acts like team leader. Obviously, we're all in solo queue, so no one's really an actual team leader. It's just someone who takes it upon themselves to do that. So the Zarya in this game was yelling like a madman, wanting everybody to switch off characters because they were doing terribly, except for him, obviously. And so he wanted Pharah on our team to switch off and go like to a Reaper so we could counter their tanks. And the guy was like, okay, I'm not the best Reaper, but I feel like I can get the job done. Let me switch off to go for the Reaper like you asked. And in this case, it worked. The Reaper really did help. But later on, the shot caller here, the Zarya, decides that he's going to start yelling and blaming the guy for switching back to Pharah. And he ends up proving that guy wrong, you know? So it was a very interesting game, what I'm showing you guys. And the next point really is this team I was with was really toxic. And in solo queue, you will run into these people a lot. They are just, it's something you're going to have to deal with. And it's something you got to learn to deal with. And so another reason I enjoy solo queue is you develop a thick skin real fast. I can deal with people yelling at me now a lot better than I used to be able to. I used to go into solo queue in season 2, and if someone yelled at me and blamed me, I would start yelling back. And that's never good. You don't want to deal. It's the old saying is don't fight fire with fire. You want to be the water here. You want to be able to calm the situation down and get away from all that. In this game, I didn't do the best job at that. Later on in the game, we end up tying, and then it goes into overtime, where we have to see how far we can get, and then we have to defend them for how much time they have. And repeatedly, the Reaper on our team tells me, if I step off the payload, we lose the game, and it'll be all my fault. And I was like, he just kept repeating it to me over and over like I was a child and I didn't know what he was understand. Like, I didn't know what he was saying. And I let it get to me, and I got a little angry. I was like, all right, man, like, hey, I cussed at him, because it gets frustrating to have to deal with that nonstop, obviously. But that's something you're gonna have to deal with when going into competitive, is knowing when to deal with toxic players, know how to deal with them. Like, you're gonna pick a character and someone's just gonna instantly start yelling at you. Like the defensive attackers in this game, like Bastion, Junkrat, Torby, people don't like them right now. They feel like they're pretty useless. So if you pick that character, even if it's on the fence, you're probably gonna get met with some toxicity. It really depends on the level you're at. I'm sure in the lower ranks, where I'm at Diamond is full of people who talk on mics all the time. At lower ranks, maybe in bronze or silver, maybe those people don't talk as much, but they probably still talk. And I'm sure you'll be met with somebody who thinks they are better at you at the game, and that playing that character is just going to lose the round for us. Play what you want. Don't let somebody being toxic to you ruin their game for you. If you feel you are an incredible Torbjorn, play Torbjorn. He is a fun character. He actually has won games. I've watched games where I was like, there's no way this team's going to win. And they pull it out. And so, like, play what makes you happy. Like, that's the biggest thing I can recommend when doing solo queue is knowing when to play what makes you happy. And in this game, I really enjoyed playing Lucio. I feel like I did great, but obviously one guy decided that I wasn't doing well enough, and I didn't agree with that. I thought I was doing fine, you know. Uh, so to break down the game in the background, and I've given you some tips for solo queue. Uh, as I said, we had the Zarya who was trying to be shot caller, but was being rather toxic to everybody else, like blaming them for when he died. And then we had the Pharah slash Reaper who was trying to blame me for if we lost, and that wasn't, that's never something I'm a big fan of. Like, I don't try to blame other people when I can. If I do blame them, I usually end up apologizing if we get the win, like we do here. And so to deal with it in this game, I really got quiet. Like, I just decided, I was like, all right, I'll call out when someone's on the point. I'll do all this, but after that, I'm just done talking. Like, I don't want to deal with these people. And that's just sometimes what you gotta do. Sometimes you just gotta, be your own shot caller. Call out where someone is. Call out when someone's low on health, and call out, hey, I'm gonna pop my ult here. And so that's what you end up having to do many cases. And in the end, it works out for me. I don't talk as much as I usually would in the game. I'm usually very, I really like to chat it up with people, and I like to let them know where characters are and all that. And I feel I do a really great job in this game as Lucio and Ana, and I believe I went Zenyatta at one point in the game. And that's what I'd like for everybody to do. Is I would like everybody to, try solo queue and learn from it as they go. You're gonna have some bad experiences in solo queue. It's something that can get very frustrating. If you follow Overwatch on Reddit, you will know that it's considered one of the worst things you can do in the game. I don't believe so. I think it's pretty fun. It's something. It's like I said. It's made me a better player because I've learned that I'm actually really good with characters that I usually wouldn't play. I've learned how to deal with toxic people a lot better. And I feel like if you guys were to try solo queue, you would also enjoy it. Obviously, if you have friends on and you can play together, do hop into the games with them. It's a lot more fun if you can talk with someone you feel comfortable with. And that's another thing that I'd like to recommend to you guys. Don't be afraid to talk to people. I know some people are shy, and so talking to people can be a little scary, but in the end, it's really worth it because you can save a teammate's life that way, and it's just beneficial for everybody around. Like, if you start talking, maybe someone who else is shy will start talking, and in the end, it's really worth it at that point. And so, the last tip I'm going to give for solo queue is to remember that it's just a game. We all want to climb this competitive ladder, but getting ridiculously angry and yelling at your teammates and all that is just not going to do anybody any good. You got to remember that it is a game and to have fun with it and just have a good time, guys. Don't take it too seriously. I can sometimes get a little too serious and get a little too angry. But like the other day I had 3 losses in a row, all from one random person on our team quitting because we couldn't capture the first objective within a minute. So they just quit, and then it becomes a 5v6, and it is very hard to win a 5v6 in competitive. So you definitely want to have fun. Don't let things get to you. Don't let toxic players get to you. If you're having a bad round, change the character up. Like, have fun with the game. Solo queue is always going to be a little bit toxic. It's always going because you're not going in with friends. You're going in with people you don't know, and so just know when it's going to be okay. And it's also important to know that each season is 3 months long. So the current season, season 3, will not end until about mid-February. So if you do not get the desired rank you want in the first month, it's not the end of the world. You have an entire 3 months till you can get there, and if you don't get there, it's okay. There's always next season. this game's gonna be around for a long time. They've already talked about adding rewards for season 5, so we know they're going to keep making stuff for this game, and it's going to be okay. Uh, and so just remember that it's going to be okay at the end. Like that's the biggest thing I tell you, that it will be okay. You will get, if you feel you are a diamond player but you're stuck in gold, if you keep playing this game, you will eventually get there. And it's important to remember that it's going to take hard work, just like anything will, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And to have fun with it along the way. I hope to see you guys out there playing competitive more. Hit me up on Twitter at Comic Book Cody if you're having a good time playing competitive. I want to hear from you guys if you're enjoying it or not. If not, let me know what's happening. Maybe I can give you some advice. Add me on PSN at Captain Red Hood. I'm always open to play some quick play games, and if you're at Diamond Rank, I would love to team up with you and we can have a couple games together. Have fun with the game, guys. Have a good day. Hope you had a happy holidays. Hope you have a good New Year. Let's ring in 2017 with lots of Overwatch, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember to like and subscribe to Talking Games channel. This is on. Comment if you have any video ideas for me. I'm always open to them. In the last video I did for the Zenyatta video, I got a request to do a how to not play characters game, and I will definitely be trying to film that soon. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later.